We will now call a Plan Commission meeting of May 26, 2026 to order. Roll call.
All chair.
Sullivan here.
David Chair.
Oldani here.
Seifert here.
Okay. Approval of minutes of May the 12th, 2026. Long minutes, but quick meeting. If there's any discussions, corrections, errors, omissions, if not, motion.
Seifert moves to approve the minutes of May 12th, 2026.
Vouch second.
Roll call, beginning with Steve, please.
Vouch aye.
Sullivan, aye.
David aye.
Oldani, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Okay, we're going to move on to our first item. That's a review of a site and architectural plans for the construction of a fence at MG Foods. This is an existing business located at 10303 South Parkview, Oakview Parkway. Nick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this parcel is located on the north side of Oakview Business Park on Oakwood Road, and it's zoned M1. Plan commissioners may recall that this property was here for site and architectural review last year in March, and that included a barrier wall enclosing compressors meant to mitigate the noise that those compressors produce on the west side of the principal structure. Now they're back with a proposal to construct a fence. So this fence would be located on the northwest side of the property. It would be 330 linear feet, and it would sit atop an existing berm. It would be located between the existing landscaping that you're seeing in the photo in the bottom left and the principal structure, so the nearby residents would still be seeing that landscaping. The fence would be 8 feet tall and be constructed with 2x8 horizontal wood planks. And then lastly, there are no proposed changes or additions to parking, lighting, access, or signage as a part of this proposal. With that, the applicant is here if you have questions, and the suggested motion is on the screen.
Okay, does the applicant want to say anything or just wait on questions? Okay, applicant said he'll wait on questions. We'll go right to the commission. Commissioner Chandler.
No questions.
Seibert?
No questions.
Danny?
No questions.
Sullivan?
I have no questions either.
Bosch?
What's the lifespan of that wood? Is it like a 10-year product, 20, 30-year product?
We'll need your name and address, sir.
Sure. David K. Beaver with Bryan Property Management, and my address is 12545 West Lakeland, New Berlin. And lifespan, it's all treated, green treated lumber, so it would, being that it's not in the lumber's not in the ground, I would probably say somewhere 10 to 15 years, if we, upkeep it, obviously.
Is there a maintenance program kind of in the
There's
works
not
for it, or
anything-
just fix it as it needs?
Correct.
Okay, no further questions, thank you.
Okay. I myself, I think the packet was pretty thorough on the history of what we went through here. And I know they worked a long time looking at this problem. Our engineering department was also part of this. So I do appreciate the enclosure that they did. And this just added value to the neighborhood as far as I'm concerned. So I have no questions with it. Neighbors not only get the fence, they get the view of the landscape. So double bonus. Okay. If there's no further discussions, motion.
Seifert moves that the Plan Commission approves the site and architectural plans for construction of a fence at MG Foods, an existing business located at 10303 South Oakview Parkway.
Oldani seconds.
Roll call, beginning with Matt.
Sullivan, aye.
Gavich, aye.
Oldani, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Chandler, aye.
Vouch aye.
Okay, thank you. going on to item 5, review a certified survey map dividing and reconfiguring the property located at 2028R West Oakwood Road. Nick?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this property is zoned RS3 Single Family Residential, and it's located on the west side of South Judith Place, just north of West Oakwood Road. And the applicant is proposing to divide this existing parcel into 4 lots. Plan commissioners may recall that this property had an official map amendment in May of last year, and that eliminated the east-west portion that you're seeing on the screen here and left intact the north-south portion that sits on the very west side of the property. And again, the applicant is now proposing to divide this parcel into 4 lots to be used for residential development. So the 4 lots go lot 1, which is the southernmost, is 2.5 acres, and it contains a portion that sits behind existing parcels on both South Judith Place and West Oakwood Road. Lots 2 and 3 are pretty much identical, and they are approximately 1.2 acres. And then lastly, the northernmost lot 4 is 2.9 acres. All of these parcels conform to the bulk and dimensional standards of the code, and they would all front South Judith Place, and there are no existing parcel or structures on any of the lots. With that, the applicant is here if you have questions, and the suggested motion is on the screen.
Okay. As usual, applicant want to say anything or just wait on questions? Okay, applicant said to wait on questions. Steve, you want to start us off?
No questions.
I don't have any questions, but just to give everyone background, the applicant has been working with the city in regards to the bulk dimensions and the layout. They've gone back and forth with Plan Commission and engineering frequently. This is probably a few months, 3-4 months in the making to make sure that they meet the requirements set in our zoning code. So, I mean, with any other questions than that, I have no other comments.
Okay. Don? Fred?
No questions.
Commissioner Chandler?
No questions, thank you.
Okay. I do have a commissioner coming in. I will just pause for a second. I'll let the records reflect. Commissioner Hannah is now in attendance. Give her a minute to settle in. Just for your knowledge, Christine, we're on item 5. Give you a second or so. So just Nick, I'll just make my comments very briefly. It's a certified survey map. We're simply dividing that property up into 4 lots. That's the question tonight. I did have calls from neighbors wondering about drainage ditches, roads, things of that nature, which really isn't an agenda item. Oh, I'm not on. Sorry. I'm just too far away. Sorry. But anyways, I know it's not on the agenda, but as long as I'm letting Christine kind of catch up here just a second, just kind of explain the process of how this works. I mean, today is just the map for the lots, and then what would happen in the future if the applicant would then decide to develop.
Yeah, so this would just be the division of the lots. They would all be, sold individually if it were to come to that, if the applicant chooses to do it that way. As far as the drainage goes, I would defer to the city engineer on that question.
Okay, so once somebody decides to purchase this lot or the applicant decides to do something with it, they would go through the normal procedure of the city for stormwater management,
Correct.
making sure the lots conform, setbacks are there, and everything else.
Correct, yep. They would apply for a building permit, and all of the departments on single-family residential, which would be planning, inspection, engineering, and finance, would all take a look at that.
And then again, I'm just speculating, but I would imagine that all access would come off Judith. It wouldn't come off Oakwood because another property owner has that has the lot would have to grant the easement of some
That's correct. The only frontage is on South Judith Place.
sort. Okay. Matt, anything to add or no?
In regards to drainage, every lot is set within our stormwater maintenance or stormwater management, which is chapter 13. Each one is allotted a certain square footage in regards to home size. Typically, there is not stormwater done on single-family homes unless it's a larger subdivision under a subdivision plat. We do work with our applicants, though, and building as we go through to make sure drainage doesn't negatively affect the adjacent property owners. We also do have other programs. I know roadside ditches through Judith is probably a question for most people in that area. We do have a new program within the city that we are starting to manage our ditches within the area. And if that tends to be an issue for the residents out there, we encourage you to go on our website. We actually have website areas where you can put in complaints, and we do have several technicians that will go out there, look at it, get the information, and put you in the program. In regards to roadway, obviously we, as the roadways deteriorate, we have approximately 350 some miles of road that we manage on our budget. But as you work through this and working with your alderperson in that area, they do have some say in what we do. So I encourage you also to reach out to them or myself in regards to the maintenance of our roadways, and we can always address those as things come up or look at potential changes within our program that we do.
Thank you, Matt. And one other question, again, it's not a subject here tonight, but I just want to mention this in my phone call. A resident was concerned about fire hydrants and adequate fire protection. That would all be addressed as these were to be developed, if they had to have the hydrants and what have you. So, Christine, I'll ask if you have anything on this item.
Just one question for Matt. Is there any, like, flooding in this area?
I mean, there's general issues with the drainage through the ditch systems. We're aware of that. So anything that's within the city's preview, as far as management, that can be put within our systems that we have now. This program that we put in place is only about a year old. So we're doing a lot of asset management and trying to understand what we actually have
I
and
like
get that
asset
information. So yes, we do realize that there are some drainage issues through that area. I think I've been here 20 years and I know it's come up a few times. So there's definitely things that would be addressed in front of these homes as far as being able to do that properly. But then obviously we'll be looking at it further in engineering, and as complaints come forward, we'll bring that into our program.
How about the volume of traffic increasing with this development?
4 homes will probably increase at about anywhere from, typically they'll go 3 to 5 cars a day,
Oh, nothing major.
trips. So it shouldn't be that the roadway should be able to handle as far as volume and maintenance of it. As far as fire hydrants and fire suppression, we have had those hydrants tested to make sure that there's a proper pressure at the end of the hydrant on the cul-de-sac. So fire has looked over that, and they seem to be accepting of those facts.
Thank you.
Okay. There's no further discussion. Motion on 5.
Oldani moves that the Plan Commission recommends to the Common Council that the certified survey map dividing the property at 2028 R West Oakwood Road be approved with the following conditions. 1, that all technical corrections, including but not limited to spelling errors, minor coordinate geometry corrections, and corrections required for compliance with the municipal code and Wisconsin statutes are made prior to recording.
Vouch second.
Okay. Roll call. Start with Don.
Oldani, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Chandler, aye. Hannah, aye.
Vouch aye.
Sullivan, aye.
Kevich, aye.
Hey,
Metal-
Dan, there is some questions here going on.
Well, come on up. I mean, it's kind of over and done, but come on up. We're just talking about the certified survey map, but name and address.
Wayne Majewski, 10220 South Judith Place. I was the last one to build on that lot on Judith Place, and that land was landlocked after I was done building on that lot. When did this get changed? So we can build on that on there, because our road is only 15 feet wide. So I just want to know why it got changed, because that property over there was landlocked back in the days. That's why he bought it after the guy that bought it before him, because he was going to develop it. He couldn't do it. Now Verhalen wants to develop it. So my question is, when did it get changed? Because I was the last one that could build on that property, on that road, because our road is only 15 feet wide. You cannot get 2 cars without going on the shoulder or going this way, and we do have a drainage problem over there. Just for your knowledge. Thank you.
Nick, can you help me out?
I can't necessarily speak to the width of the road. I can speak to the length of the road. My understanding is that there was an ordinance 3109 adopted in August of 2024 that changed the allowable length of a cul-de-sac to, I believe, 2,640 feet, and the length of the cul-de-sac here from the center of West Oakwood Road to the end is approximately 1,300 feet.
Yeah, that does, you're correct. The fire code was updated because that was an older ordinance that we did go through when we did the ordinance changes.
I guess in speaking to the 15, within that ordinance change, it used to say 15 buildable lots was allowable. That was actually removed with some requirements of the fire hydrant pressure and that portion of it. So that was all reviewed by the fire department in regards to that. Like I said, in regards to new subdivisions and that, there are some requirements on road widths. This being existing, that's why I encourage you to talk to your older people in regards to getting this on the program for roadways. We would, as we do our roads and we improve our roads, this would be one that we would probably go through and widen it a little bit to give us that proper access. So these are things that we're aware of, but this is throughout the city, where we have some roadways that are, I would guess, less than the 20 feet. But like I said, I encourage all the residents, reach out to us out of our engineering department so we can put these things on our programs. Our programs run annually, so we could actually end up looking at that as a potential improvement in the future here.
Sorry, you have to be on the microphone.
No, actually, ma'am, you don't. The cost of the improvements, since this item's done, the cost of the improvements are not per adjacent landowners. So these improvements would be under the program, which is our maintenance programs. And same with any kind of ditch improvements. That's why we have the programs. That's why you pay a stormwater fee. So we can start improving. We're just starting to implement these programs, though. So you'll have to bear with us a little bit in getting through it. But yeah, we're looking to, put that money back in the residential areas.
And just to be clear, the ordinance wasn't changed specifically for Judith. They looked citywide at how many properties this would affect and what it would do. And as Matt said, it had to do with the number of homes, and fire technology and infrastructure in the city has changed significantly since that law or ordinance was done, and that's why it was changed. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Janice Sleeth, 10190 South Judith Place. When I talked to the fire department, they said that we were landlocked because you can't get a fire truck in and out of there safely if there's a lot of other cars there or fire people or police. Matter of fact, when they took my husband, we had a terrible time getting him, they had a terrible time getting out of our road. I know you guys keep talking about it. When are we going to be notified when you're talking about our area? When are you going to tell us? I mean, you said there was a vote in 2024. I never heard of it.
That was citywide.
That was a citywide
It was a citywide ordinance. So if it affects your property, within 300 feet, you're notified.
I know back when the ditch was done, the alderman that was on at that time and the engineer got fired because they did what they did. I don't want to see this happen again. You didn't know about it?
I can't.
Yeah, go back in the books.
Okay, it could be
Yeah,
before
when
my
they
time.
went
I
and
don't
put a-
remember any
when they
engineers
put a-
being fired.
When they put a big hole going all the way down our road on the other side, and then had to go to the land behind us, which is owned by somebody else now who doesn't give up. They're got a big pit where all that water's supposed to go, And they said they would dig it out so that it would move slowly, move quicker. Never happened. So Wayne and those other people in that area get flooded all the time in their basements. That alderman got fired, and the engineer got fired that year because they pulled the wool over our eyes. And the people that had that land sold it to somebody else to have the problem. So that's why I'm not trusting you guys. We need to know more stuff. Do we have to be at every meeting to figure out what's going on? One of us need to get elected so
That's why you
we
get
know.
notice within 300 feet, ma'am.
300 feet. We're in Oak Creek. We should get notified no matter what.
Okay. With that, it's going to bring us to adjournment. So the farmer's market's in full swing.
You gotta-
Come on up. Come on up.
Stacy Seekert, 10132 South Judith Place. You did answer the question kind of about widening the street, because I don't know if I want it to go one way or the other. My question was more so that right now they say they're zoned for single family. Is that only one home then can be built on each of those parcels?
So for RS3, I believe, I'm not exactly sure what code allows. I want to say it's roughly 2.8 dwelling units per net acre. That could be wrong. I can verify that with you after the meeting, but it's something like that. So essentially, yeah, per net acre, and that's subtracting any wetlands. That's how many single-family homes can be built on each lot.
Okay. And then I guess kind of go along with that, say that someone bought one of those large lots, could they also then divide that into 4?
As long as the bulk and dimensional standards of the lots allow it and there's access provided to them, then potentially. But, it would have to fit within code in order to do so.
I think that was noted somewhere, like 150 feet or something on the street.
Yep.
And is there any way that, I think it was lot 4, the one that is at the end of Judith, if someone purchases that, can they connect that to the industrial parkway? Not currently.
So
There's no land there because it's all
Yeah.
owned by the industrials.
So I can speak to, as a part of the approval process for that project, the official roadmap, which is kind of what you're seeing on the screen here, was eliminated on that parcel's area of it, and so it doesn't actually run through to where it originally did. That was a planned road all the way through to where the cul-de-sac ends on South Judith Place now.
Okay.
That has now been eliminated.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. So anyways, getting back to it, farmer's market's in full swing. Will be going on this weekend. If you missed it, we had a really nice ceremony at Forest Hill for Memorial Day. Thanks to the VFW and the American Legion for putting that on, as well as the Scouts. With that, I'll call for adjournment.
Seifert moves to adjourn the meeting at 6:24.
Hold on 20 seconds.
Okay, roll call, beginning with Fred.
Seifert, aye.
Chandler, aye. And aye.
Walchai.
Sullivan, aye.
Bukevich, aye.
Hold on, aye.
Okay, thank you all.